Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a very small detour to some of the topics that we've left in the past. Okay, these are the topics that are supposed to be discussed in the beginning of our syllabus. Let's just say in the time of units and dimensions. It has to be taught in that time of units and dimensions, but there was no use of those topics back then. But for our upcoming topics like thermal expansions and so, there are some topics where you'll be needing all these specific topics. Okay, all these little subtopics we are going to need, and I'm going to talk about them in this specific session. Okay, so let's check that. Let's talk about one by one. Let me start talking about the accuracy and precision. The most important idea. It's not really most important idea, but it's quite an intriguing idea. Okay, like what exactly is the difference between accuracy and precision? Can anybody give me an example how accuracy and precision are different things? Guys, anybody? What is the difference between accuracy and precision? Somebody needs to raise your hand and talk. Please don't send the message. Please give an answer. Raise your hand and say. Pritika.
Sir, accuracy is something like to the point, like exactly on the point. Precision is something like around, approximately.
No, not exactly. I think you got the point wrong there. Anyone else? Accuracy and precision. In physics, we have two specific ideas where we need to talk about. Okay, accuracy and precision are a bit different ideas. Okay, accuracy is about how accurate, how correct the answer is. How correct the answer is. Accuracy is about. Now, precision is about no deviation in the answers. There is no deviation in the answers. Now it is not easy to understand it that way. I give an example in every class all the time. Okay, we all know this dart game or the shooting game, archery. We can talk about archery if you want. uh, let's just say randomly, some four people are shooting arrows, and the first person shot here, here, and here. These were the shot taken by the first person. One, two, three. The second person took shots. The second person took shots, and he took shots like this. Now coming to the third person, the third person took shots which are like this. The fourth person took shots like this. Who wants to be the fourth person? Of course, I think everyone wants to be the fourth person. Charan Sai, tell me.
Is that the thing that when we are doing the scope in the guns, the aiming, the perfectness while we are aiming it,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
the same thing? Yes, sir.
We have four examples here. We have four examples.
Yes,
Out
sir.
of those four examples, we need to mark. I mean, we need to tell which one is accurate and which one is precise. Let's talk
First
about
one,
it.
sir. Fourth one, sir. Fourth one.
Now, first of all, this is accurate. You can call it as accurate. It is really near to answers, so this is good. But it's not really precise. Not really precise, because every time he's giving an answer, it is deviating from one another. One time the answer is this, then this, and then this. Okay. Now coming to the second one, it is definitely not accurate. We can say that it is definitely not accurate. But the thing is, it is definitely very precise. It's not deviating. The answers are not deviating from each other. Okay. Uh, Third one, definitely not accurate, not precise. Fourth one is definitely accurate and precise. Fourth one is accurate and precise. So this is how you can say whether their answer is whether an instrument, any instrument that you're talking about. Let us say we have a measuring instrument, any measuring instrument. You can call about anything. It's not just about length. You can measure weight or mass. You can measure time, or you can measure anything. Or we have a lot of physical quantities. We've already talked about it in the past, right? So all these quantities, we have a measuring instruments.
So
Now
like
yeah,
so the substance which is used in uh, like a gold shop, so it will be the accurate, sir. The this money, the correct grams they'll show, sir. Is that it?
yeah. That's let me give you an example, then you'll understand clearly. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Let us say there is this random body. I wanted to measure the distance between the total length of this body. Okay. And with the length of this body, I try to measure with a scale, a meter scale. The meter scale, I tried 5 times. Okay. Like I repeated the measurement 5 times. We often do this thing. Okay. Remember this point, that whenever we make any type of a measurement, we often take 10 times or 20 measurements or 30 measurements of the same length, so that even though there are some errors, we can average and find the right answer. So this 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, even there are situations where we take the reading for 100 times, just in case. Okay. So when I try to take the reading, since it's a meter scale, what is the least count for meter scale? Anybody? It's basically 1 mm difference, right? 1 mm is the least reading that is there on a meter scale. So let us say I get 23.7 centimeters. This 7 is nothing but millimeters, okay? Once, and then 23.5 millimeters the other time, 23.8 millimeters, 23.6 millimeters, like that, and 23.5 again. Out of 5 readings, I get these readings like this. So let us say I already know the original reading, which is 23.5. Okay. So yeah, there are little deviations. Definitely, there are little deviations. Let us say the original reading is 23.51. There are deviations, but the answers are all close to this value. So you can call it as accurate. Definitely, you can call it as accurate. Let us say I tried to measure the same length. I tried to measure the same length using a screw gauge or something. Like we've already done this in the past, but I'm not trying to draw a screw gauge here. We tried a screw gauge, and this time this screw gauge is defective. The screw gauge is defective. Okay, now let us say it is defective. So it is showing the original reading is 23.51, but it is showing 26.56 millimeters, 26.55 millimeters. Sorry, not millimeters. Yeah. Oh, it is in centimeters, right? So it has to be like this. Wait a second. It has to be in centimeters, right? So 20, I'm randomly taking 25.24.5. Let me take some random value, 26.517 centimeters. It can read up to 3 decimals after this thing, because it is in centimeters. We all know that in millimeters, it can read up to 1/100th of a millimeter, right? It can read up to 1/100th of a millimeter, which means it can read up to 1/1000th of a centimeter. So this is the kind of reading that I'm getting. Now, even though the original reading is 23, it is clearly showing a wrong value here, 26. So in the next reading, it is showing it as 26.515, 26.514, 26.516, or 26.515. So all these 5 readings, they're not deviating at all. Look at this. The only deviation is this last little number. But all of them are wrong. So in this case, we can say It is not accurate, definitely not accurate, but definitely precise. It's not really deviating from its original value. That is how it is. We can have a good screw gauge. Like let us say I want to measure the same reading. We can have a good screw gauge. This is not defective. This is perfect. The screw gauge is perfect. This time I'm getting readings like 23 point, original reading is 23.51, right? Original reading is 23.51. So this time I'm getting 23.512, 23.510, 23.511, 23.512, again 23.510. Sorry, 510. This time see this. It is definitely accurate because everything is answer, every answer is getting very accurate, and it is also precise. There is not much deviation. The deviation is like very little. So this is the basic idea about accuracy and precision of a instrument. Okay, this is how you need to understand the difference between the accuracy and the precision of an instrument. Okay, so if you understood this, I'll move on to the next idea. If you have any doubts regarding this, please raise your hand and talk. The idea of accuracy and precision. Charan, sorry. Yeah.
So the precise means they doesn't contain the no deviation, right, sir?
Yeah, precise means it shouldn't contain it. So you can simply say screw gauge is more precise than vernier calipers. Sorry, yeah, vernier calipers and normal scale. Screw gauge is definitely precise. It doesn't have to be right, but it is precise for sure.
Okay, so so it can contain a little bit of deviation, right, sir? Here you said that 512, 510, a little bit.
There is a little deviation, like it's like comparison. It is more precise compared to normal scale. Normal scale, you check the variation.
Yes, sir. There is a lot of the deviation.
There are like 2 more digits of variation. Like it's already deviating here. Now this is deviating at the 3rd digit. Look at this, the kind of deviation. It is very small.
A little bit amount.
Yeah, very little. So that is about it. Okay. So just that accuracy and precision. There are problems about it, but when you come across these problems only, I can help you. Okay. I can't just directly give you problems about accuracy and precision. There are some good questions in your NCERT textbook. Okay. So please go ahead and read that. Okay. Now Sharath is asking what is vernier caliper. Sharath, I hope I remember already giving a video for screw gauge. For vernier calipers, the video is already done, but I just didn't give it to you people. Today I will give it to you. Okay. Today I will give it to you. We give the video for vernier calipers also. Okay. Now let us talk about significant figures. I think it is done in chemistry, or did chemistry are actually told you people that I will teach the idea of significant figures. Chemistry did already tell you about significant figures, or is it just me who's just mentioning this topic right now? No, you already know about significant figures. Please, somebody raise your hand and speak. Nobody? Anybody? Sumant.
You are the first to
Mention about
take this topic, sir.
Okay.
That's it. You will tell.
Okay. Now, for significant figures, there are number of rules, around 6 or 7 rules. I don't remember. I won't teach them either right now. Okay, the rules, there are some rules, but let's not talk about the rules. Okay, let us talk about the idea of significant figure. This is a very interesting part again. So significant figures is like whenever I give a measurement, let us say I give a measurement saying 5.3 centimeters. 5.3 centimeters. A simple idea that how many significant figures are there? How many significant figures are there? There are 2 figures. So the number of significant figures is 2. That is the answer. That is as simple as the question is. But what does this exactly mean? Like why are you mentioning that the number of significant figures is 2 only? The reason why I'm mentioning this is very important, guys. Reason, okay. Whenever you're giving a measurement 5.3 centimeters, I'm going to ask you a question here. When the measurement is 5.3, can I write it as 5.30 centimeters? Can I? Can anybody tell me? When I have a reading that has 5.3 centimeters, can I write it as 5.30 centimeters? Sharath.
Sir, no, sir. Like
Why?
the hundred isn't mentioned, right, sir?
Exactly. So
It's approximate.
So
this
we
is a
cannot say because the
big
number of things we just
no.
changed. Sir.
This is a big no. You should not just simply convert 5.3 into 5.30. You might have done this thing in the mathematics, that is like approximating things. But in physics, or whenever you talk about the idea of significant figures, you should not convert a 5.3 centimeter reading into 5.30 centimeter reading. I'll tell you why. Now, guys, this is so important. Whenever you're giving a reading, you're basically responsible for these two readings. Okay, like you've already made a measurement, and in that measurement you already get a value of 5.3 centimeters. But whenever you say, if only you simply mention 5.30, first of all, you've only measured up to 5.3. Your instrument is only good up to measuring 5.3 centimeter, which means you are using a meter scale here. You're basically using a meter scale. Meter scales can only measure up to 0.1 centimeters, like after one decimal after sorry, one unit after decimal only, like centimeters after centimeter. Okay, so you only know up to this. It can be 5.31, it can be 5.35, it can be 5.36, it can be 5.30 also, it can be any of these values. When you don't have the information, just shut up, that's all. When you don't have the information, you will clearly mention, whenever you're writing this, you're clearly mentioning that I only have the reading up to this decimal only. The rest of the decimals, I don't know. I don't have the enough equipment to mention whether this value is right or wrong. Okay, I don't have the reading. That so you're clearly telling people that I only have the reading up to this. So whenever you're writing, you're only mentioning that you're not responsible for the next digits. That is what you're trying. But if only you're randomly putting another zero, you're being careless here. You're being careless and randomly putting another zero, which you shouldn't do. That is what I'm trying to say. If only you have another instrument, a better instrument, you measured it, then you have zero, like you got this reading out of a better equipment, then yes, you can. Otherwise, if you don't have, you just have to shut up at 5.3 only. You just have to shut up at 5.3 only. That is the importance of significant figures. Okay, so just because you write any reading, so let me show you another. Like whenever I get a reading, let us say 7.42 centimeters, let us say, I should only mention that the significant figures are only 3. Significant figures are only 3. There are only 3 units I'm responsible of. I don't know about the rest of the units. Rest of the units I don't know. So I'm only responsible up to this point. So significant figures is only 3. So whenever I write significant figure 3, what I meant actually here is I'm talking about I only know the reading up to 7.4. So if only I write 7.420 also, I should have a better instrument. So in this case, significant figures are 4. If only I have even better instrument, like I'm just having better instruments here. Like I have some money and I created a better instrument. Now I have 4200 also. Like I'm being responsible for this zero also. I'm pretty sure that there is a zero. My equipment told me this. Then the significant figures are 5. So all these zeros that you put after decimal definitely matter. That is one of the rules. That is one of the rules when it comes to significant figures. Okay, like we will talk about all the rules at the end. Okay, I'm just giving you random examples. Now Sai Vamshi already asked a question saying, sir, what about a case where you have 7.004? Yes, each and every number is clearly speaking about it. So significant figures is 4. Okay, significant figures is 4. What if the 0 is here, like 0, 0, 25? Can somebody tell me what is 0, 0, 25? Like how many significant figures are there here? Sharath.
2, sir.
Yeah,
2.
exactly, because 0, 0, 25 is also 25. The significant figures is only 2. I'm pretty sure I can convert 0, 0, 25 as 25. There's nothing wrong in this thing. Okay, so let us talk about all these 3 rules. They will talk about these 3 rules. So let me give the rules also. Okay, they say rule 1 is all non-zero digits. All non-zero digits are significant. We already know this, like whenever you have 4.321 or 3535, 437, 223.323, number of significant figures. Come on, quick, Sharath, Sumant.
So 6,
6
6, sir.
here,
4, sir.
here,
4, sir.
here.
3, sir.
Yeah, so that is basically the rule number 1. Rule number 2, let me rephrase it. All the zeros on left side, left extreme, let us say, left extreme side, are not significant. Are not significant. All the zeros on the left extreme side are not significant, which is like before decimal. Okay, this must be before decimal. Like I've seen the, like I've shown you the example 0, 0, 0, 2, 5, which is also 25. So the significant figures is only 2 here. Now the next rule goes like all the zeros in middle, all zeros in the middle, as in middle, as in it simply says like this. Okay, like middle in between non-zero digits, are definitely significant, like 25,003. Significant figures how many, Sumant?
5, sir.
5, because all of them are counted. That is one more rule. Let me talk about the last rule. Not last rule, there are more rules. Let's talk about it. All zeros on the right side
Are significant, sir.
of decimal are significant. You get it? So
Yes, sir.
whenever I write value like 25.200, how many significant figures?
6, 5, sir.
5. The significant figures is 5. Okay. So somebody's asked a good doubt here. Sharath, is it Sharath? Sharath, sorry, Vamshi, Sai Vamshi. What is it? Jairam also, you have some doubt. Please raise your hand and speak. Okay, Jairam, you typed a very long doubt. Sir, they said Jairam. No. Guys, if you have a doubt, please ask. Okay, please raise your hand and speak. Okay. There's a chance that you might go wrong here. Right. Jairam?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, in mathematics at 9th class, we covered a topic like
Sir.
0.9 bar is nearly equals to 1.
Yeah, they say things like 29.9999 can be converted into, right? No,
Yes, sir.
you
That's
should
what.
do that
We
here.
really consider it or somehow.
No, you shouldn't do that here. No.
Sir.
Why, sir?
When it comes to industrial uses, you should be responsible about these numbers. Like what you're doing is you're basically approximating it. The very same approximations can lead to a very big danger in a live industry, right?
How, sir? Means I know. Can you
The
tell me?
small little change can lead up to a huge blunder in all the practical examples that, like, take a factory for an example. Okay, you're working for a factory. Okay, so if only you got a reading and you approximated it, okay, what will happen? Like, it could lead to a lot of damage, it could lead to a lot of loss.
Sir,
So
this can happen in the gold, no, sir. Like a 1 gram extra of gold. This is
yeah,
a
1
blunder
gram
mistake.
extra of gold can lead to a lot of damage, because you're not talking about 1 gram, you're talking about 1 gram in one package, but there will be millions of packages, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So these readings needs to be really accurate,
Significant.
specific, and that is the reason why significant figures is so important. Like, you cannot randomly put a 0 or take out a 0 or randomly take a number or anything like that. Okay.
Sir, actually,
Yeah.
Sir, actually in rule 2, you said that all zeros in the left extreme are not significant, right, sir?
Yeah.
Is it before the decimal or after the decimal, sir? This
Before,
zero on the
like,
left
there is
side.
no decimal here. Before the decimal only, like 0.0030.00.
Yes,
Here,
sir. Before
only
the decimal. Yes.
only these zeros are significant. So
Okay,
significant figures is 5 here. These are
Okay,
not.
sir.
Okay, they are not this significant.
Okay, sir.
You get it?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, this is also important. Okay. Let us say, what about this case? What if I have 25,000 significant figures?
5, sir.
The significant figures are
5, sir.
5 only.
5.
Sir, this error
This is,
also applies in that Avogadro number, no, sir. We
yeah.
write
But
6.02214 as 6.022
that is exactly where I'm
10/23.
again. Listen,
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
that is where
That makes
exactly,
a lot of difference, sir.
guys, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Let me complete this. Okay, there is a difference between 25,000 and 25 power 10 power 3. Do you know this? Here the significant figures is only 2, but here the significant figures are 5. I'll tell you where the difference comes. Okay, here you're talking about 25 into 10 to the power of 3 types, and as if you're talking about, let me give you another example. Okay, yeah, take some bricks. Okay, you're getting a brick package delivered, bricks, number of bricks. When you say this, you mean exactly 25,000 bricks. But when you say this, you're around 25,000 bricks type. 25k bricks. Around 25k bricks. But when you tell this, when you write this as a measurement, you should be counting each and every brick down to all the zeros. That is the main difference. Okay. So whenever they give a question like this, on the left side, you write the significant figures as 5. On the right side, like this, the significant figures is only this part.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, we shouldn't count the significant figure of 10 power 3.
No,
right, sir?
you shouldn't.
Only the number 25.
This is just representing the order. Like,
Okay, sir.
in kilos, let us say 36 power 10 to the power of 6. You're just talking in terms of order, mega. In mega order you're talking, but significant figures are this. Like, you're talking about around 36 mega something. Okay, you're getting the difference. I hope you're getting the difference.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, this is not a doubt, it's a practical example. Sir, I would like to construct a sphere, sir. Okay, sir.
You'd like to consider what?
I would like to construct a sphere, sir, which is a perfect sphere.
Okay.
So therefore, the volume should be considered as 4 by 3 pi r cube. So
Okay.
up to 4 by 3 pi r cube, I am completely accurate and precise. What about what to
No.
do
The
about
problem is, in measuring the radius, you'll have to use an instrument again. That instrument will only give you up to reading up to what, 2.3 centimeters, let us say.
Okay, sir. Just let's just
Only
take
up to, yeah. You will
15
understand.
centimeter scale, sir.
You'll slowly understand. I'll show you. Okay. Like what
Pi
happens?
is an irrational number, na sir. What to do if we consider irrational numbers, na sir? Because we'll consider only 3.14, but not the rest of the part. Why,
No,
sir?
in this case, you can't even talk about this thing. Like you take a mathematical value and you're finding it, right? Then you don't even talk about significant figures. Significant figures is not even a topic. You practically measure the volume. That's a different case.
Okay, just like assumption or something like this, sir.
Yeah, it's like you can't practically, if you're using mathematics, you're bringing pi into it. Pi doesn't end at all, right?
Yes, sir.
There's no,
It's an
no,
irrational.
your question will be answered in a few steps. Okay, right, not right now. You'll in a few steps you'll clearly understand that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Always.
There is one more interesting point here in significant figures, which is, let us say there are rounded numbers, like rounded numbers as in, I'm not sure if you call it as rounded. The thing is, how do I put it? Yeah, let us say I said 6 eggs. Let us say I said 6 eggs. I'm pretty sure I can say that it is 6.0 eggs. There can't be 6.1 egg, right? This is not a possibility. I'm pretty sure that it's also 6.00 eggs. It's also 6.0000 eggs. It's also 6.00000 infinite number of eggs. So in this case, you can happily say the significant figure is infinite. Okay, rounding and round off and all we will talk about later. Okay, rounding of numbers is a different topic, guys. Please don't bring round off topic into this thing. Okay, so this is the idea about significant figures. This is a basic idea. Now there are more rules, but in the end, once you get the gist of the topic, once you get to understand the topic, you can actually write all these rules on your own. Because as today I haven't checked the significant figure rules in what 3-4 years. I don't remember the rules at all, but I'm just reframing them for you, just from the idea that the whole idea about the responsibility, like each and every number that you're putting there, it must have some sense, right? So that is the idea that I'm sticking to, and that is how I'm going to. Okay, somebody is asking about the definition. I don't remember the definitions, man. You're supposed to check the definitions. Why don't you guys open a textbook? They are there in NCERT textbook. Please check those rules and try to get back to this point, like how one of those rules, how each and every one of those rules are making sense. Okay, when we talk about significant figures. Now it's not over, guys. Okay, again, significant figures is not over. It is also important when it comes to some mathematical applications, like adding two digits. Let us say I have to add 5.322 to 4.34143. I have to add two digits, two readings, which don't have the same set of significant figures. How do I add it? In mathematics, you do this, saying you put 0, 0, 0, and you simply add this, but you shouldn't do that here. Oh, I'm sorry that screen sharing has stopped. Let me share it again. In mathematics, you simply put these zeros and say things like, I'll count the reading, but you shouldn't do it. The reason is very simple. You don't know whether there are zeros or not. Instead of just going for a wrong reading, you should shut up and say things like, I don't know about these digits, so I don't know what to add to these digits. So I am not even going to write that. I will only write up to 9.66. That's it. The reading is 9.66. I hope you're understanding my point. Okay, this is how you add two significant figures. I'm going to give you one more question here. 2.143, that 322.2. Can somebody answer this? What is the answer to this? 4.3. How is it so 4.3? Guys, I know I can put zeros on this side. These are acceptable. I cannot put zeros here. These are not acceptable. I hope you're getting that. So the reading will be 324.3 324.3. Okay, a lot of people got the right answer. If you have a doubt, please raise your hand and speak up. Okay, guys, I hope you get the point. So this is a very interesting idea. Now it repeats the same, just like if you have any doubts regarding, guys, please don't type this guy. Somebody typed a huge message here, and I'm not supposed to read that. Jairam, please. It is impossible to nail which is sharp, it is pierce. What? Sir, in the left extreme side, the zeros are acceptable. Okay, anyway, I'm not reading the text message anymore. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you so much. Please, if you have a doubt, raise your hand and speak up. Okay. So this actually is repeated for subtracting also. If you are subtracting 3.29 and 2.1, only subtract up to this value. We don't know about this thing, so simply write 5.1. That's all. We're only sure about up to this value. We're not sure about this digit here, so we don't write it. Okay. After subtraction, we'll talk about multiplication. It is a little difficult for you to understand the multiplication rule. Sumant, what is
You
it?
have added the first two digits in the previous example and you have subtracted the second.
What?
In the previous example, sir, you have added 3 and 2 and written 4, 5, sir.
Yes, sir.
That would be 1.1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry about it. 1.1. It is 1.1.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So after that, let's talk about multiplication here. Okay. Now multiplication has a different rule. They simply like do this thing. Okay. 2.3 into, let us say, 5.4646. They ask you to do one thing. They ask you to do all the multiplication, get the final answer, and get the final answer only rounded up to the least number of significant figures. Here you have 5. Here you have 2. So in the answer, you only have 2 significant figures. That is what they ask you to do. You need to round off. Rounding off is a different topic again. We can talk about rounding off today itself. I will talk about round off. Okay. I hope you already know about rounding off. There are different rules for rounding off. Different people follow different rules, but I'm going to give you some rules. You just stick to that. Okay. Like as long as we don't really face any issue with that, we can do the same thing. Again, multiplication and division, they both follow the same rule. Simply pick the number with the least number of significant figures. Find the normal answer only. Do all the multiplication. Find the normal answer only. Just round it off to the least number of digits. Now, I hope you all know about rounding off. Somebody knows about rounding off digits? Please raise your hands. How can you round off things like you have 2.3564? I need you to round it off up to this, only this. How do you round it off?
So 2.36.
2 point? No.
2.4, sir.
No, I want you to round off up to this level. Like I have only 4 digits. So I have
2.360.
No, it is 2.356 only. Now, let me tell you the rules for people who don't know about this rounding off rules. It's very simple, guys. It's about which digit you want to remove. You want to let me give you another example. Okay. 3.23.429956, and you only want up to these digits. You want these to be removed. Okay, the rule goes like, if you are removing it, look at the last number. Look at the first number that you're removing out. Okay, if it is greater than 5, you simply write it as 23.43. You simply add 1 to this thing.
That's what I have done previously.
Yeah, if it is less than 5, you simply forget it. Like, let me give you an example. 43.4293. I want it to round off up to this level. I only want these digits. I don't want the rest of the part. Look at this digit. This is less than 5, so I round it off to what?
43.4.
43.4.
Sir, if it is exact 5,
Yes, that's a good question. That is a good question, and this is where a lot of people have a lot of doubts. Like you, let us say 43.325 251. Okay, I only want up to this. I don't want this. Okay, is exactly 5. So people, whenever you do this, whether to forget it or remember it, some people follow this rule. They look at this number here. Okay, if it is even, they leave it like this, 43.32. If it is odd, like let us say 43.3151, if only you had this, you want to round it off up to this, you want to remove this is 5, exactly 5. Look at this odd number, then you add it, 43.32. Anyway, in the end, you have to bring end it with an even number. That is the important idea. End it with an even number. It's always that rule. Okay, it's just a rule I've read somewhere. Different people follow different rules. Some people always simply add 5, but I prefer this rule only. Always try to keep the last digit even. I even have an expression. I mean, an explanation to this of my own, because whenever you have this, you can split it into, I mean, like by 2. Like if you get a case of dividing it into 2, you can happily divide it in the same significant figures, right? Like if it is even, it is easy to divide. That's what I feel, but I'm not really sure about the reason why they do this. But whenever you have 5, they always try to keep the last digit even. If it is odd, they convert it into even. If it is even, just leave it as even. Okay, so that is how you round up these numbers. All right, guys. I just want to end today's session at this point because I've already covered accuracy and precision. I'm sorry, accuracy and precision and
so
significant.
if it is greater than 5, we have to add 1, and if it is less than 5, it should be the same, right, sir?
No, if it's less than 5, just leave it like that.
Okay, sir. And if it is the equal
Exactly
to 5, we
5,
have to even.
always try to keep it even. Always try to keep the next number even.
Okay, sir.
So accuracy, precision, this is covered. Errors, I will cover tomorrow. Errors and changes, percentage changes, and measurements, which involves screw gauge and vernier calipers. We will talk about them. Okay, guys. So just wait for the tomorrow session, and we will be good to go. Okay, and take today's DPP of elasticity, and we will discuss that in the next session. All right. Thank you so much, and bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Vernier calipers, I will send a video. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, guys.